Hello and welcome to Clipshortjid's movie recap segment. Today, I'll discuss the huge box office success of the 1998 Hollywood film, Saving Private Ryan. June 6, 1944, American Ranger soldiers are traveling to Omaha Beach aboard landing craft via the choppy English Channel. Tom Hanks's John H. Miller, the captain of one unit, orders his troops to clean the murder holes once they land and to check their guns for sand and water after they get out of the boats. Miller's right hand trembles uncontrollably. A number of troops are instantly killed by machine gun fire from concrete German bunkers and machine gun nests built into the cliffs overlooking the beach as soon as the landing ramp at the front of the boat opens. Other men dive into the surf and over the gunwales of the landing boats to escape the machine gun fire. Underwater enemy fire strikes some, while others drown from the weight of their heavy equipment. When they reach the shore, many hide behind the wooden landing craft barriers and the slender flanks of the steel tank barriers, which provide essentially no shelter from approaching fire and mortar shells. Miller is temporarily stunned as he scrambles up the dunes when a mortar round close by explodes, knocking his helmet off in the process. Miller is startled, and his hearing becomes muffled and dim. He observes as the troops in his immediate vicinity are shot at, or blasted by mortar rounds, or are simply too terrified to move. Miller is asked what to do by a private who stares him in the eye. Once again able to hear, Miller tells his Sergeant Mike Horvath, Tom Sizemore, to direct his men up the beach and out from the enemy's line of fire. Miller carries an injured man as he lumbers over the sand. Miller abruptly realizes that he has been lugging less than half of the dead man's mutilated body after he is killed by a mortar fire. Most of the U.S. Army soldiers are killed by the German bombardment, and there are twice as many wounded. Despite medical personnel's best efforts to save them, many of the wounded have been eviscerated or are missing limbs. Whoever is left in Miller's squad gathers along a sandbar with scant protection from German shelling. In preparation for their attack, Miller instructs his soldiers to clear the barbed wire and mines behind the sandbar using Bangalore explosives. The guys reach the closest concrete bunker, but are prevented from going any further by a machine gun nest on a neighboring cliff. Miller orders his sniper, Private, after putting a few of his men into the firing line, where they are instantly killed. With 2 accurate bullets, Daniel Jackson, Barry Pepper, eliminates the soldiers manning the machine gun nest. Jackson's attempts are successful, and after moving his troops behind the bunker, Miller uses a soldier with a flamethrower to set the bunker on fire. As the German soldiers rush out of the bunker, one soldier shouts to the other men on the beach to let them burn to death. The German forces Miller's men are battling in the trenches behind the bunker swiftly open a path for the remainder of the regiment to leave Omaha. Miller also witnesses a few individuals brutally murder a few German and Czech soldiers who are about to surrender. Private Vin Diesel's character Adrian Caparzo discovers a Hitler Youth dagger, which he offers to private Jewish character Stanley Mellish, Adam Goldberg, who starts to cry. Horvath gathers a little amount of dirt and places it in a metal can with the label, France, along with cans with the labels, Italy, and Africa. The beach is littered in the remains of thousands of American soldiers who have died or been injured, Horvath remarks to Miller. One of them had the name, S. Ryan, on his backpack. Rows of secretaries are composing death notes to be mailed to the families of the men killed in various engagements throughout the world at the American War Department. 3 letters for 3 guys from the same family are found by one of the ladies typing. The mother of the 3 guys, who are all brothers from the Ryan family of Iowa, will simultaneously get all 3 letters. James Francis, Mrs. Ryan's youngest and 4th son, was deployed to Normandy with the 101st Airborne Division before to the beach invasion, and it is unknown where he is today. General George Marshall Harve Presnell is alerted to the letters and, after reading a moving letter written by Abraham Lincoln to a family experiencing a similar situation during the Civil War, instructs his officers to identify James and arrange for his rapid return home. 3 days after D-Day, Miller returns to Normandy and meets with his commanding officer to give a report on a challenging mission that lost many of his men their lives. Miller receives new directives from Lieutenant Colonel Anderson, Dennis Farina, who assigns him to lead a team into Normandy in search of Private James Francis Ryan, then return him. Corporal Timothy E. Upham, Jeremy Davies, who speaks fluent French and German, is found by Miller in the camp press box to join the squad as a translator. Upham replaces Miller's former interpreter. In the countryside of France, the squad departs. Because he's the new guy in the squad, Upham tries to talk to Mellish and Caparzo but, despite his superior rank, finds them hostile and even insulting. Irwin Wade Giovanni Ribisi, the squad doctor, inquires of Upham about a book he intends to publish about the bonds of camaraderie among soldiers, which Mellish immediately mocks. The mission is questioned by Richard Ribon, Edward Burns, a brash private from Brooklyn, who wonders if finding Ryan is worth the lives of soldiers who could be fighting for the liberation of France and Europe. Miller urges his group to talk about the mission even if he is dubious about it himself and is aware that his current orders are more crucial. The team arrives in a small French village where army forces and the German forces they are battling are now at a standstill. Ryan is not present when Miller asks the closest sergeant if he is a member of his squad. They dispatch a runner across the battlefield to the army unit across from the town in an effort to gather intelligence. The runner is almost instantly stopped. A French family trying to flee their bombed home but caught in the crossfire is encountered as they make their way across the town via some side routes. Miller refuses, but Caparzo emerges from cover to take the child against instructions after the father demands that the squad take his small daughter to safety. A sniper shoots him in the chest, and he falls out in the open while still alive. As they are unable to rescue Caparzo, the squad seeks cover. Jackson recognizes the bell tower as the sniper's most likely shooting point right away. He locates a nearby mound of debris and hides behind it to kill the sniper. The sniper notices Jackson just in time to be shot through his own scope as he scans the team for another target. Caparzo bleeds to death and passes away. Wade pulls a blood-stained letter that Caparzo had been writing to his father from the body, and Miller stares down on his body and brutally informs his soldiers that this is why they follow orders and don't steal children. The squad and the other soldiers take a seat inside a bombed structure in another area of the village to relax. One of a sergeant's men is sent to locate their CO.